Hi, I'm Heather, and this is knitting update number 56 for Thursday, April 2nd. So, I'm sorry, I just finished a bubble tea and it's kind of like coming back to haunt me now. Little update. So, I didn't realize that all the videos I posted last week were set to private, unfortunately. I didn't realize that until Monday when I went to post my Knit City video, and then I realized something weird was going on. So I think now the order is all screwed up because then when I tried to change the setting from private to public, the YouTube app was glitching or something, so it wouldn't let me do that. And then I just decided I really wanted to put the Knit City one up because I actually kind of like that video. It's not anything great, but I don't know. Some videos I like a little bit more than others. So I really wanted to post that one, so I just deleted it and re-uploaded it. I think it probably would have been better if I had just been patient and waited until I could have switched all the settings, but whatever. So I think things are a little bit out of order. Also, it makes sense as to why I kept thinking I wasn't at knitting update number 53 anymore, but every time I went to go check, because the new videos hadn't been posted, it screwed up my counting. I should have noticed. I'm not a professional. It's so weird because I didn't even notice that I had no views. I guess because I wasn't feeling great. I think I wasn't really checking up on my videos or anything. And to be honest, I do go and check if there are any comments, but generally speaking, I don't really care how my videos do performance wise. Maybe that's bad, but I'm really just doing this for fun. I'm not hoping to monetize my channel or anything like that. Actually, I'm kind of hoping to not. Which is why I never ask people to subscribe or anything, but of course, subscribe or like or whatever if you want to. So that's what happened, and then I haven't posted a video since then because I've been working on my vest, but I haven't been making that much progress. Also, the weather here has been just so gray and gloomy. Like even today, I was planning on doing a video today. I was gonna do it first thing this morning, but it's just been so overcast. Now it's 2:30 in the afternoon. The lighting is okay, I think, but it's just so gray. It's raining. It's been raining all day. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 21 degrees, but then Sunday is supposed to snow again. I honestly feel like this has been one of the worst winter/springs so far. The winter was so cold and we had so much snow. We didn't have a day of no snow since October, which I don't think that's ever happened in my memory, at least of us living here. Usually you get a lot of snow, then you'll thaw, all the snow will disappear, you'll have some nice days, there'll at least be like clear pavement, clear concrete, you can see the grass, whatever. But this year it was just snow on the ground from October until, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Now it's just been raining. We had one warm day the other day, but then we had massive thunder showers. I don't even remember like March thunder showers. It was 2 days or 2 times thunder showers. I don't know. It's been so weird. So it's been a bit of a bummer. I think this is the first time in a while too that I haven't gone to Florida in February. And to be honest, I was really okay with it. I think partially because this is the first time that I've had chemo, like infusion chemo. So I wasn't too keen on like trying to go on an off week or trying to figure out. I just didn't feel like traveling. Also, with my lymphedema in my leg, I didn't really want to get on a plane. And I was okay with not going to Florida until like now I feel like I really missed the opportunity to go and get some sunshine because that's what I've really been missing. But Dollywood is coming up, or our Nashville trip is coming up in 2 weeks. So I see the weather is like in the mid to high 20s there. It's supposed to be like that before we get there. It's too early to kind of see the forecast for when we're there. So I'm hoping we'll at least have warm weather. I do feel like that area, for whatever reason, I'm not like a weather expert or anything, but it does seem like that area, like in the Great Smoky Mountains, is prone to getting like thunder showers or rainstorms or whatever. It's not guaranteed we'll have great weather, but I think at least it will be better than here because I'm so sick of this cold, rainy, dark, overcast snow, whatever BS that's been going on here for 5 months or whatever it is now. Anyways, let me show you the progress on my knitting update. So I've been working on the Komodo vest, and I've done the whole back panel. Not really much to see. Oh, this bubble tea. This bubble tea is really trying to punish me. Okay, so I've done the back panel. The next step would be to pick up the stitches for the right shoulder, and then, do the right front, and then the left front, and all that. It is so fuzzy. Like, I don't think I took into account, I didn't check the mohair content when I was purchasing this yarn. I don't think I'll regret it, but I think it is a little more fuzzy than I wanted. 80% mohair maybe is a little bit too much for me. I mean, it is a vest, and so I will wear it with a t-shirt or a long sleeve tee underneath. I think it's totally going to be fine. I'm loving the color. I think it's really helping. I think I really needed it because of how gray and just gloomy and dark it's been outside. But yeah, my only concern is, like, when I bought the 2 skeins of each, like the mohair and the merino, I was so confident that that would be enough. But now that I'm done just the back panel, I feel like, I mean, I could weigh these and see how far along I am, but I feel like it used a lot. And I was not going to let myself get into this like yarn chicken worry, but I don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, I can buy more, so I'm not that worried. It's not like I'm just using stash yarn and this is all I have. I can order more from the Wandering Flock, but I hope not to. And it doesn't make sense to me because my Ghost Horse sweater, I think I used less than 2 skeins of each. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to think about it that much. I don't care. It's all going to work out, whether or not I have to order more. Look at my fun Bagoo bag also. And so that's that. I've been working on that pretty monogamously up until today. This morning I went down to Oakville. I'm trying to get out of the house more now that I'm feeling better. So thank God I'm feeling better. The last 2 or 3 weeks have been pretty rough. Like, I had the cold, and then I had the shoulder pain, and then I started having this really bad lower body pain. And I realized that it's related to these injections I do to boost my white blood cells for my chemo. And it's a side effect that I could have been experiencing for the last, like, I've been doing these injections for about 6 months now. So thankfully I haven't been having that issue up until this last round. And I think it's because I was sick before I did the injection, so my white blood cells were probably already higher than usual to like combat whatever cold I had. And then doing those injections on top of it didn't help. And because I never had any side effects, I never took any of the precautionary measures to make sure that I wouldn't get the side effects. So when I talked to the nurse about it this week, she was actually really surprised that I had never been taking antihistamines alongside the injections, because that's the one thing you can do to sort of counteract the side effects. So I guess now my plan is going forward to take the antihistamines like the day before and then the days of the injection, which I'm not too happy. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. The thing is, the pain, if the pain does happen, if the side effect does happen, it is some of the worst feeling. It's like the worst pain. I can't explain it. I couldn't even sit up. Like, I couldn't sit because of how painful my legs were. I couldn't sit on the toilet and go to the bathroom because of this sensation. And it's terrible. And all I could do is take Tylenol around the clock, but I do have cancer in my liver, and Tylenol can be really hard on your liver or cause liver failure. So that was making me anxious, and also it's not helping 100%. And then I do have a prescription for hydromorphone, which they just keep telling me to take it, but honestly, it does nothing for me. The last week or so was so dire. Like, honestly, The pain was so bad. I was laying in bed crying, like trying to go to sleep. I felt like all I could do all day was lay down. It really sucked. I hate feeling that way. But anytime I tried to sit up, the pain in my legs was just so unbearable. And it's not even pain, it's just like this like muscle tightness feeling. I can't explain it. And I know that people have told me in the past, because this did happen like 6 years ago when I first went for chemo with my initial diagnosis. And that time I only had to do the injections for like 6 rounds and then I was done. And even the last time they said don't bother taking it because you would take it after the chemo to boost your white blood. I didn't have another round of chemo coming out, so like don't bother doing the injection this time. But now it's kind of like I have to do it. And if I don't, even when I do it, sometimes I still don't have the right count to get chemo. So, and that's causing me some anxiety about, having this happen again in the future. And hopefully, because I only had it happen this one time, it won't happen again. Anyways, whatever. I'm getting way in the weeds with this, but thank God I'm feeling better. And yeah, hopefully it won't happen again. I don't know what else. I don't know where I was going with this whole story, but it sucks. And hopefully I can get better painkillers, but that seems to be a real struggle, which is kind of crazy when you have this sort of diagnosis, a palliative diagnosis essentially, and you can't just get a painkiller that'll work. And I kind of get it because there is, opioid crisis or epidemic in North America. But honestly, that's not, I'm not one of, not even like that. I'm not drug seeking, but I'm not going to survive this diagnosis. Can you please just let me have painkillers that work? Because the worst thing for me is to have this pain that I cannot do anything. How can I tell myself I'm a healthy person with a life to live if I cannot get off the couch? It sucks. I'm not the type of person to lay in bed all day. I'm not even the type of person who normally wakes up feeling shitty, and that's how it was every day for the last week or two. And that really sucks. Like, I couldn't deal with that. So I'm hoping going forward, when I go back to the oncologist, I see her, and this is coming up to my week off, so then I'll see her like next week. Sorry, the week after, whatever. Next time I see her, I hope I can sort of convince her. I do have a palliative care doctor, but he just is the one who kept prescribing me higher dose hydromorphone, even after I said it doesn't work. It doesn't help me. It makes me feel nauseated. It makes me feel stoned, and not in a good way. And it does not relieve the pain at all. Like extra strength Tylenol does a better job. Anyways, rant over. So today I got up. I'm feeling good for the most part. I watched the end of Love Story, the Carolyn Bessette and JFK Jr. I don't know. People seem to be watching that show. I finished it. It was the most depressing thing I've ever watched. I hate to say this, and this is so rude and inconsiderate, and I'm sorry if you're offended by this, but the plane crash actually didn't seem like the worst end for that couple. Like, I don't know what about this relationship constituted a whole show or series called Love Story. I think even the beginning part wasn't great. The beginning part wasn't great. Okay? They were a beautiful couple. The beginning part of the relationship didn't look great. The middle part didn't look great. Then they got married. Then everything just went to shit. She couldn't leave the house. It was so depressing. This was the most depressing thing I've ever seen. The worst part about the plane crash is that her sister Lauren was there, and I think that girl had something going on. But JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, it's like, and it's not entirely their fault, I guess, like the press chasing them down. I don't know. I hope that it's just the way that it was depicted in this TV series. And I really hope that they had a way better life than how it was shown in this TV show, because it made me physically ill, if I'm going to be completely honest. But if that's a relationship you have, if that's a life you're living, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't care about like the accuracy of the depiction. I just think if this is a love story, then what are we doing? But anyways, so today I went to Oakville because I wanted to get out. So part of my rehabilitation and like prepping for my upcoming vacation is, instead of just doing the treadmill in the basement for 10 minutes a day, I'm trying to actually get out and like do something and be a part of the world for a bit, because I think I need the stimulation. So yesterday I went to Winners and I walked around there for about an hour and just looked at stuff and try not to be overwhelmed. And then today I went and drove down to Oakville. I went to the wool store. I wanted to show them my ghost horse sweater because I bought the Shibui yarn there, and I've been in multiple times to buy yarn. And the lady that worked there, she said, "Oh, I'd love to see what you're making when you're done it, because you keep coming back here to buy more of this Shibui silk tweed cloud or whatever it was." So I thought, you know what? Why don't I go down there? I'll wear my ghost horse. I'll show it to her. I'll see what they have in the store. And there's also a bubble tea place across the street that I really like. And I'll get a bubble tea. You can see my empty cup over there. They do a jasmine green grape bubble tea, which jasmine tea is one of my favorites. And grapes right now are like my big addiction food wise. So I thought that'll be a fun thing to do. I had no plan on buying anything there because I just went to Knit City. I'm going to Nash Yarn Fest in 2 weeks. I don't need more yarn. I'm working on projects. I have whips coming out of my butt right now. Like, there's so many whips in this house. I'm not normally overwhelmed by whips, but I am getting overwhelmed by my whips. But guess what? They had a beautiful sample knit up of a triangle scarf and slash shawl. And I have been wanting to make one. I've had no success in terms of finding like a pattern that I like. I've been working on that one with the cables and the twisted rib. Actually, I haven't worked on it since I showed it because I kind of feel like the pattern requires a bit of attention. I think I want to rip some of it back. I might even just want to frog it and start the whole thing over. And then I did the Midori Hirose one for the sample knit, and I like how it turned out, but I did make mistakes, so it's not like as mindless as I want it to be. Anyways, so today I was there. They had a beautiful sample knit up, and I loved it, and I was like, what is this pattern? And the shop person went to look it up for me. She's like, oh, I can find out. But then she never came back and never said anything, so it's kind of like, okay, maybe she couldn't find it. I didn't want to ask her again, so I was getting ready to leave. And then she came at me with a printout. Let me show you. Oh no. Oops. Let me take out the plastic of the pattern. And it's just a simple stockinette scarf, but I like it. When I saw it in person, it was a bit more impressive. So it's called the Color Evolution. Oh, that's what the yarn is called. Nope, the yarn is called Palma Stripes by Lanes du Nord. So anyways, because she printed it off and on this color thing, and then I felt weird about being like, oh, I actually don't want it, but thanks for finding it for me. But it doesn't really have a name, so I guess it is something maybe that, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, it won me over. They also only had one ball of the yarn left that it was knit up in. The shop sample, and I really liked it. I thought it'll go great with my winter coat for next year, but also look good. I can still wear it now in the springtime because this will look good with whatever. So I started it. I cast it on. Honestly, it is as simple as I thought it would be. I am not a Sophie scarf lover or enjoyer. And this is not to like throw shade on the Sophie scarf for people who like it. I think it looks cute. I don't have a problem with it. I did knit up a Sophie shawl in Noro, and it was my Rhinebeck project, or like my project that I worked on driving down to Rhinebeck the first year that I went. So I think that was 2 years ago, probably 2024. And I will say I don't find it to be a mindless knit. And I probably made so many mistakes. And actually, once I finished it, I pretty much immediately frogged it. So yeah, just not really my thing. And I don't think it's a mindless knit. At least it wasn't for me. This, even though I probably should have looked at the pattern a little bit closer before I like bought the yarn and committed to it, this actually is a mindless knit. Like there's no way you can make a mistake on this one, even if you're not really paying attention. It is so simple and straightforward, and I'm gonna probably take it to Nashville with me and work on it on our flight and then driving or whatever. The only downside is it doesn't tell you like how long measurement wise to knit the 1/2. It just says knit until you're halfway through your ball of yarn. So I'm either gonna have to get to that point before we go, which I probably will be able to, but that's like a little bit annoying. I could maybe like wind it into 2 balls, but I think that's gonna mess up the striping at this point. Like I probably should have done that first. I don't know. Anyway, so that's my only complaint. Why not just say how long? Maybe it has the full measurements. Okay, it does have measurements, so I could just wing it. I could just do sort of halfway, but I still have to check my gauge. So that would work too. Anyway, so I started this. I'm gonna work on this for now. I'm gonna take a break from the vest, mostly just because I don't feel like doing the part with the increases and the picking. I just don't want to do it right now. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, but I just want this mindless knit right now. And this is actually like perfect for that. So yeah, it's pretty cute. So like the first part of it, you have like this ribbing, and then this part will all be stockinette, and you do your increases on the wrong side every time. And I put this stitch marker here so I know when to do the ribbing and I won't screw it up, and hopefully it'll work out great. But yeah, and this yarn was expensive. That was the only downside. They don't have prices on anything there, so I was kind of just like, well, it's one ball of yarn. I'm just gonna get it. How expensive will it be? And also I really like this scarf. And I can use this pattern again for other yarns that I have if I want to. And she had already printed it out, and I felt kind of weird just like leaving it there and being like, yeah, thanks, or taking it with me. I don't know. It felt like a kind of awkward situation, but whatever. Like I wasn't forced into this purchase, but the yarn was 50 something dollars, which, you know, not entirely surprising. It is 100% wool, non-superwash, and it's also whatever. It's like Ocotex certified. I've never known how to say this. Anyways, and I really like the colors. I like that it's kind of like the black with the muted. I mean, I would have been happy if the colors were a bit brighter, but also I have like some Noro like one-off skeins, and maybe I can use this pattern to make a Noro shawl triangle scarf too. I guess it was like $60 with tax, and I got a pattern and a yarn. That's not bad. Most patterns are like $8 to $12, so it is what it is. But yeah, I talked so much. I think I don't know. I was gonna show one more thing, but I don't need to. This is a long video. I guess I was really in the mood for talking today. But yeah, that's my stuff. I don't know if I'll do another video tomorrow. It's Easter weekend, so we'll see what happens. Also, it depends on like how much progress I make. If I'm not knitting anything, there's nothing to show, so then I won't do a video. But who knows? Maybe I'll be done this by tomorrow. Bye.